you on emotional eating. All right, let's go. Facebook family, Instagram family, what is going on? It is your favorite coach, Coach Jay, tapping in with you right now. We're going to be just talking about emotional eating solutions in today's live. All right. Big shout out to YouTube. Big shout out to Facebook. Big shout out to Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. All right. All you all, let me take a little bit of your time just to give you some value. And I appreciate each and every single one of you all. Okay. Now, getting straight into it. If you are in the Facebook Live community, you all will see a live demonstration of me writing out these notes so you can prepare yourself even better. All right. We do have a special guest, and I see he's added into it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add him to the stream, and hopefully we can hear the audio and everything. But my guy Sergio is supposed to tap in, and he just tapped out. So we've been having technical difficulties, but we're gonna thug through it. All right, because that's what we do. We persevere. All right. And if you try to tap in again, Sergio, just let me know. But I wanted to give you all a special guest on sharing information about emotional eating. All right. Besides just my stories, but it's going to be really valuable for everybody that taps in. And I appreciate everybody that taps in. Okay. So, Sergio, let me know if you can hear me, bro.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, bro. Introduce yourself, man. I already did the intro. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram Live, and just want to let them know who you are.
Face. You guys can't see my face, huh?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay. How you guys doing? My name is Sergio Ayala. I am an online fitness coach that helps parents get into shape, live a healthier lifestyle, and spend more time with their kids.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you joining, man. We cannot see your face, so at any time, like you unlock your camera, so we can like.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but just let me try it one more time.
Okay.
Camera.
Yeah, you're good. Take your time. Take your time, guys. We're gonna be talking about emotional eating solutions, and so first off, we all know emotions are powerful. All right, we all know emotions are powerful. And while Sergio is figuring out how to manage what's going on right now, I'm going to give you all value off of my notes. Okay. And so, with that being said, number one, when it comes down to emotional eating and the solution so you can stop overindulging, under eating, or overeating, is to understand your triggers. Okay. Now, this reminds me of a point in my life to where I would overindulge. Okay. I did not know how to understand my triggers. Okay. And Sergio, we're going to go in between. So once I give my point, you can definitely share a point because we got people in Facebook tapped in right now wanting to know how to have a solution to emotional eating. Now, understanding your trigger reminds me of a point in my life to where I would literally make bad decisions because of the way I felt. Maybe today wasn't productive. Maybe I failed a test. Maybe I just didn't feel accomplished. Maybe I felt drained of energy. And so I would want to do something that makes me feel accomplished. Okay. I would fall into toxic habits. Sometimes that would be drinking. Sometimes that would be playing the video game. Sometimes that would be eating out. All right. And so with that being said, understanding your triggers is important because you always have a purpose as to why you do what you do. You always have a purpose, an underlying reason of why you do what you do. All right. Sergio, we got you tapped in, man. I believe we hear you. As long as your audio is connected, you can go ahead and explain point 2 on the solution to emotional eating, bro.
Okay. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, for sure. You guys able to see me?
Yep, we can see you as well.
All right, cool, man. Okay, so emotional eating. So on one of them that I do know for sure, I don't know if you were talking about that right now, was you said triggers. So I would have to say is having, say, that type of food in the house, which can trigger emotional eating. Like I know for me, like one of my bad habits is to have sweets in the house, right? And I always feel like even someone like me is disciplined enough in order to say no. But if it's there and if I have a bad day or or if I'm low on energy, then I'm gonna make the wrong decision, and I'm actually gonna go for the, the sweets, and then I'm gonna indulge it. I'm not gonna have one. I'm gonna have two, three, five, and then I'm gonna feel guilty.
Facts. No, I totally agree with you on that, bro. Honestly, because number one, a lot of people don't know that my dad is a chef. Like, he still cooks good ass food every time. Like, I share it on Instagram and Facebook all the time about how my dad cooks. And growing up, he always kept sweets in the house because he used to own a restaurant. So you had lollipops, airheads, sodas, like the whole garage area was set up like 7-Eleven. And so I can honestly say that having food in the house does make it easier for you to fall into emotional eating, because little gold nugget, they put colors in food and in wrappers to help you create endorphins for your brain so you can get a mental high just off of looking at it. Imagine if you actually consume it, right?
Yeah.
It's powerful, man. It's powerful how your emotions are controlled by the things around you. So number 3, on a solution on how to control your emotional eating is to focus on the moment. All right. Focus on the moment. Now, when we say focus on the moment, I want to let you all know that I do not promote hippy dippy shit. All right. I'm being completely honest. I had never meditated in my life until this point. A couple months ago, before I got kicked out of my parents' house, I literally had to get my mind right on reducing stress. Nothing in the world helped me besides praying to the Most High, honestly, because that's who I believe in spiritually. But besides that, you can still overwhelm yourself with stress and emotions by your own consuming thoughts. And so I would have to focus on my breath. All right. I would have to focus on my breath, breathing in through my nose, out through my mouth. We do it during exercising. But what about while you're laying down? I would lay down, tense up all my muscles, and just relax them. And just imagine I'm sinking into the mattress. It made me more mindful of my thoughts and why I'm thinking them. It made me more mindful of the moment around me, because I'm not who I think I am when I'm an emotional person. And you can think you're a whole different person and grow out of your characteristics that you need to keep up with if you're always in your emotions. So focus on the moment. Sergio, I'm going to let you go ahead and say number 4, bro.
Okay. So number 4 for me that has helped is for a lot of people who don't like to track their food. If you can just have a journal of like your food log, right? Like of what you actually ate for the day. And if you can just review it at the end of the day or maybe the next day, you can kind of go back into it and see what was going on this day. What was I dealing with? And then look at the choices of food that you made. Like, was it more greasy, fast food, high processed sugar choices? Or was it, I prepared my food, I stayed on track, I ate a little bit cleaner, healthier, more energy type of food. So I know for me, when I first got into my fitness journey, just having a food log, I wasn't a big fan of tracking the food because I didn't even have a goal in the beginning. I just wanted to get fit, whatever that means. But then I started tracking my food in a food journal, and I would just be like, oh, today I stopped by 7-Eleven. I got one energy drink and I got a bag of Skittles. Not the healthiest, right? And then I would go back and I would say, why did I get the bag of Skittles and the energy drink? That sounds like a horrible option. And then I was like, oh shit, like I was fighting with my girlfriend at the time. And we were having some issues, and I had just gotten off a call with her, and I was driving by 7-Eleven, and I decided to pull out money from the ATM. And while I was there, I just decided to get the energy drink and the Skittles. So like, you actually tracking your food in some type of journal or a log of what you ate for the day can kind of help you see what emotions you were going through or what was going on in your day, so you can adjust later down the line.
Right, bro, I love that. We actually had somebody comment an example of a journal log, and this is obviously on an electronic device, but somebody had recommended in the Facebook group, My Net Dairy is a great free app. And so I put that down under your notes because, bro, you saying that you write it down in a journal and you review at the end of the day speaks volumes. Like, even outside of food, That's why I have, for example, that's why I have written notes right here on StreamYard, right? And that's because I can get lost just talking and babbling and forgetting where the conversation is going, right?
Okay.
My net diary, my fault. I'm reading it wrong. Now let me stop. But my net diary. All right, so I misspelled that. But yeah, writing down things helps you keep back up on point. Like I literally just did it. Being a little bit thrown off because I mispronounced something, but reviewing it and then seeing that, hey, why did I do this? How did I do this? And what do I need to fix?
Yes.
Like, bro, that's a complete mind hack. I think that's one of the most valuable things that's said so far in the podcast and the live, because we can do that with our thoughts. We think so much during the day that it's going to be hard to remember everything that we did wrong or that we need to fix. So I appreciate you sharing that, bro.
For sure, man.
Yes, sir. So last but not least, for me, my last point, which is point number 3 for me, is to reward yourself. Now you may be thinking like, Coach Jay, what do you mean by rewarding yourself? You're telling us to control our emotional eating and you're giving us solutions. How do we reward ourselves when we are an emotional eater? And the way we do this is by doing the opposite of the emotional eating. All right. So real quick, I'm going to write down reward yourself. Okay. Now, I want you to keep in mind, right? I'm going to draw a little illustration. Say this is you, right? Say this is you. And you're trying to save money, right? So this is the bag. This is a bag of money. I'm not an artist, so don't judge. All right. I'm a fitness coach. We're both fitness coaches. So you're trying to save money. Okay. Now, in order for you to save money, you have to stop spending money. That means you have to keep money. So you want to have more money, but you have to stop spending money to get more money. All right. So we got multiple money bags right here. Okay. Multiple money bags right there. Now, if you want to save money, so you stop spending money, so you can get more money, what is the point of you spending more money? Why spend more money if you want to save? That's what most people do when they're emotional eaters. That is why the term cheat meal exists. And it's because people hold themselves back on something they need to do, but in return, they go right back to the action that they needed to stop. The only way you can save money is by making more. And one of the ways you can make more is by stop spending. So when you spend more, you have less and you end up not saving money. So to reward yourself, do something opposite. All right. A lot of the times when I would say I'm going to stop being an emotional eater, I would tell to myself when an emotional state came, oh my gosh, I want to eat out, but I need to save money. So instead of spending the money fulfilling my emotions, I would get $5, $5 to $10, how much it ever costs you on an average to spend on fast food, on food. And I would put it into a separate bank account. I made a whole separate bank account for this money. And I deposited the $5 to $10 to $15 into that account every time I told myself no. Now, when that account started to stack up, let's say to $100, I wouldn't spend that money on food. I would spend it on something else. Maybe going out and going to an amusement park or buying something nice for myself or going shopping with clothes. It made my money get spent somewhere else, and I treated it as a reward because I said no. And that's what helps you get that quick gratification mindset when you say no, because it can be hard saying no. So you need to reward yourself every time you do it in the moment. And those are one of the ways that I like to use rewarding myself.
Nice. I like that one.
Appreciate it, man. You got any more points for us?
Yeah, I got one more. I want to piggyback on what you said, reward yourself. And it's funny how you started with that one, because my next point was going to be learn from your setbacks, right? So I know for me, when I first got into fitness and I started to actually take my health serious, I remember I would do good during the week because there was a structure during the week. I had to go to work. I had a break time. I had a lunch time, and I had dinner at home, right? So like there was a structure. But on the weekend, when I was more free, and I wasn't working, that's when my nutrition was like not the best. I would go out and eat like breakfast at a restaurant. I would have a couple beers,
Right.
would come home. If I was able to get a workout in, cool. And then at night, go party, go clubbing, go drinking, right? And do that
Mhm.
Friday night and Saturday. And then I would repeat the cycle and then be in this like yo-yo effect. And I would never actually sit down and say, how come I'm not making the progress that I want? You know, like how is it that Joe has been going to the same gym as me, but he's been going the same amount of time and he's making more progress than I am, and I'm in here longer than him at the gym, right? So like I never really sat there with myself and say, okay, what's going on with you? What's setting you back? Until finally I had to just slap myself in the face and say, look, you're doing all this work during the week because there's a
Right.
structure, right? But on the weekend, no one's there to hold you accountable. There's not really a schedule for you, so you're more free, and you don't have the discipline to actually sit there and say, "Hey, man, stick to your routine. Do what you
Mhm.
said you're gonna do. That way, you're not playing catch up on Monday and going through this vicious cycle that I feel like a lot of people that start their fitness journey go through, and end up wasting time and money in their journey." So learn
No,
from your setbacks. Literally learn from your setbacks and adjust, course correct, reset, and move forward.
definitely. I love it, bro. It's self-evaluation and self-accountability, honestly. It's like you looking at your paycheck and you're like, whoa, like, why is my pay not the way I want it to be? And you're like, I need to look at my timesheet. And you're like, oh, you're right. I did take off, or I did get off early, or I did go
Yeah.
on, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, wow. Like you're reevaluating, like, okay, I need to make sure that I don't do this as much so I can have this steady flow in with the
Yep.
results, with the eating habits, finances, whatever it is. These skills can not only help you with emotional eating, but so many other things. But bro, I love that you shared that point because self-evaluation is one of those powerful things because not every and this is something that's I hear more often now that a lot of people believe, and this is not us me knocking down coaches in general, because obviously that's our job. But a
Yeah.
lot of people believe they're like, oh, I can't work with an online coach because the coach isn't there in person. And I'm like, a lot of the times I'll bring up the example, well, how did you pass tests in school? Because the professor gave you something to study and they told you this is the
Mhm.
test date, and you had to go home to study by yourself. Nobody was there with you every second, not even your tutor. And so when you went to take that test, that was self accountability. And so if you can do that with school, you can do that with eating. You can do that with your fitness journey. You just have to
Yeah.
have the right checklist for you to make
Yeah.
sure that you learn from your setbacks and push yourself forward. Simple as that.
I love that analogy, man. I love that analogy. That's really, really good.
Yo, awesome. Look, man, I appreciate you tapping in. I definitely want to let the Facebook community and Instagram know who you are. So could you give them your social media, like on Instagram?
Yeah, for sure. So my social media across all platforms, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram is Sergio Ayala underscore fit.
Got you. All right.
Perfect.
Bet. So I wrote it down right here for anybody that wants to follow Sergio. Big shout out to him. He has valuable content as well. He really loves helping out parents, like as you all heard.
Thank you,
And
bro.
hopefully you use this advice today because it's not something you got to wait on. It's not Amazon. You don't even have to wait 2 days for shipping. You can use it right now and start and change your life today. All right.
I like that. Can I add one more thing, Jay?
Yeah, bro. What's up?
Yeah, for the audience listening, I just want to remind you guys that don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to take messy action. I feel like a lot of people that take any type of action in anything they want to do, it could be fitness, it could be business, it could be a new relationship, anything. A lot of people are scared to take any type of action because they're afraid to fail. But it's like if you don't fail and you don't fail forward and you don't fail fast, then you're never gonna know what's on the other side of the hill, right?
Facts.
So
Facts.
just be okay with failing, but it's not really failure. It's just you're learning lessons because it's new, and anything new is kind of like learning a new skill. Repetition, 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 and eventually it's going to be second nature.
Right. No, definitely. That's how we learn, is through behaviors and repetition. Quick read of the comment and in Facebook. I don't want to skip over anybody. So somebody said bringing cash instead of taking your cards when going out is another way to help control how much you spend on food and drinks. I completely agree with you on that. Like I told my girl the other day, I was like, yeah, I don't bring cash anywhere. I don't bring cash anywhere, right? And so at the end of the day, man, like it really depends on how you fall into your bad habit, your emotional state, and how you control it, right?
Yep.
So that is it. That is all on today, Wednesday, on the Ask You Fitness Live New Level podcast. I appreciate you tapping in, Sergio, and y'all are definitely going to hear back from my guy really soon. All right. If you're in Facebook community, leave comments down below. If you're watching on YouTube, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, leave a review down below as well. And like always, it's all love. Peace. We out.
Peace. Thanks for the invite, brother.
Yes, sir.